I get it, you're scrolling through a sea of gaming laptops, and every headline screams, ultimate power, while you're just trying to figure out if you'll actually get any real value for your money. You've probably already imagined the moment you open the box, plug it into your monitor, and launch the game or design project that's been sitting on your to-do list forever. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. Before you click Add to Cart, let's walk through the ASUS VivoBook Pro 14 OLED the way you'd explain it to a friend who's on the fence. First off, the thing that makes this laptop stand out isn't the Ryzen 7 badge or the RTX 3050 label, it's the 14-inch 2.8K OLED screen. A 28801/620 panel with 600 nits of peak brightness and 100% DCI-P3 coverage feels less like a laptop display and more like a small professional monitor. When you pull up a photo edit in Lightroom or watch a movie with deep blacks, the contrast jumps out of the screen. That's why I think creators who need color fidelity video editors, graphic designers, even photographers who do on-the-go work will actually notice the difference compared to a typical IPS panel. Now, you might be wondering how that visual fidelity holds up when you pair it with a GPU that's technically a mid-range RTX 3050 with just 4 GB of GDDR6. In my own testing, the card handled titles like *Valorant*, *Fortnite*, and *Elden Ring* at 1080p with medium settings without stuttering. You won't be cranking ultra settings at 144 Hz, but the experience is smooth enough that the OLED's fast response time hides most frame drops. If you're a casual gamer who values portability and a great screen over raw frame counts, this is a sweet spot. Performance on the CPU side comes from the AMD Ryzen 7 6800H and 8-core, 16-thread beast that sits comfortably in the laptop class. Everyday tasks, compiling code, rendering a 4K video preview, or juggling dozens of Chrome tabs feel instantaneous. The 16 GB of LPDDR5 memory is soldered, which means you won't have to worry about swapping sticks later. And the 1TB PCIe 3.0 NVMe SSD gives you a quick boot and plenty of room for large game libraries or project files. Real-world impact. I could import a 30-minute 4K footage clip into DaVinci Resolve, add a few color grades, and render it out in under a minute, something that would take a desktop of similar price a good bit longer. Let's talk connectivity because a lot of laptops forget that part. The VivoBook Pro ships with a USB 4.0 Gen 3 Type-C port that supports both display output and power delivery. I was able to plug in a single Thunderbolt dock, connect an external 4K monitor, a mouse, and a wired Ethernet adapter, and the laptop kept its charge. Add a regular USB-A, HDMI, and an SD card reader, and you've got a fairly complete I/O suite without needing a separate hub. For anyone who does a lot of file transfers from cameras or needs multiple displays for a trading setup, that convenience is a real time saver. One perk that often gets lost in the hype is the 3-month Adobe Creative Cloud subscription that comes bundled. It's not a lifelong license, but for a student or a freelancer just starting out, those 3 months can be the nudge they need to test Photoshop, Premiere Pro, or Illustrator without the upfront cost. It also signals that ASUS is targeting the creator demographic, not just pure gamers. Now, the trade-offs. Battery life on this model is decent, but not spectacular. With the OLED cranked to full brightness and the RTX 3050 under load, you'll see around 5 hours before you need to plug in again. If your daily routine is a mix of office work and occasional gaming, that's manageable. If you expect an 8-hour marathon of video editing on the road, you'll need to budget for a charger in your bag. Heat is another practical concern. Under sustained gaming, the chassis gets warm enough that the fan ramps up noticeably, and the palm rest can feel a touch hot after an hour. It's not a laptop you'll want to place on your lap for a marathon gaming session, but a desk setup with good airflow mitigates it. Upgradability is limited, too. The RAM is soldered, so if you ever think you'll need 32 GB, you're out of luck. The SSD is replaceable, but you'll need to open the bottom panel, which isn't as user-friendly as a dedicated slot. For most buyers, the 16 GB per 1 TB combo is ample, but power users should keep that in mind. Who should buy this? If you're a creator who needs a vibrant, color-accurate screen and you also enjoy dabbling in gaming or need a machine that can run GPU-accelerated applications without dragging, the VivoBook Pro 14 hits a sweet spot. Its portability, a 14-inch chassis that still feels solid, makes it easy to slip into a backpack, and the USB 4 port means you can keep your peripheral count low. Students in design programs, freelance video editors, and gamers who value visual fidelity over